Good morning, Monday morning, 26th of December. Just past Christmas, just past solstice, just past new moon, solstice on the 21st, new moon on the 23rd, depending on where you are in the world. And this window, right? So the days are equal length, or the stillness, right? The shortest day of the year, again, in the northern hemisphere, the longest night. There's a pause, right? That the time doesn't increase, the day doesn't increase for 3 days before, 3 days after. A pause in some sense. And so we are emerging out of the new moon and emerging out of this solstice pause. Again, just noticing where you are. Maybe there's been a slowing, a stillness. Maybe there's been a busyness. Or maybe there's been just something percolating, something coming to the surface slowly. Even if the world has been busy, notice what's arising within you. A need, an awareness, an emergence of creativity, a new direction, right? This movement towards the new year, right? A reflection on the last year, and a stepping into, right, as the days get lighter, that's kind of stepping into more light, more heat, more just energy, right? The energy of the light versus the energy of the dark. The energy of the dark is very cocooning and very womb-like. So on the East Coast, Northeast Coast, this is when the weather gets very cold, right? So the cocooning continues because there is that, right, the snow and the cold and the need to be inside and the dark nights. And on the West Coast, right, the longer days, there are moments of warmth. And so wherever you are, noticing how that reflects in your life and reflects in your needs and reflects in your movement, right? That we tend to think that we are moving through this world, but noticing how we move through this world, or what is moving through us or emerging from us, right? This evolution in our own process of growing, of changing, of learning, of unwinding old patterns and stepping into new patterns, patterns that feel more aligned with what we want, who we are. So let's just take a moment, closing eyes. So aware of the room around you. You can even open eyes if you need to orient to the room, the light, the objects in the room, the meaning of the objects in the room. Is there a significance? Is there an emotional connection? Is there a feeling? A joy, a sadness, a memory? And then coming back to your seat, but this moment, this day, this moment in time. And then closing your eyes and staying as present in this moment with the eyes closed, still aware of the room, the space behind you, in front of you, above you, and below you. Get that connection to what you're sitting on, that connection to what is beneath you. The relationship of your body to the ground, to the earth beneath your home or the structure that you're in. Even just touching into a moment of connecting to the earth. And then connecting to your body, right? The elements of the earth within your body. That certain sense of earth and structure and minerals, that sense of fluid, liquid water. Fire, digestion, maybe even nervous system firing. And then connecting to what is above you and around you. The light of the sun, the dark of night, the light of stars. Just the awareness of intelligence around you, within you, beneath you. Right, that wisdom of the earth, from the core of the earth, layers of the earth, to what lives in the earth, the nourishment, the regeneration. And what lives on the surface of the earth. That kind of the root system of the trees moving into the trunks, into the branches. Or the animals, plants, the oceans, the rivers that weave through the earth. The oceans and their relationship to the earth, soil and water. And almost the consciousness of the soil, of the rock, of the water, of the animals on the earth, in the water, in the sky. Again, all that intelligence and wisdom within and around, informing us, being informed by us. And feeling your place in this moment, your breath, your consciousness, your relationships. Everything that moves in and through, from food to thoughts to breath. And maybe just for a moment, finding a center point within your body, your center. Doesn't matter where your center is, and it can move as you start to settle and soften. And just connecting to that center. Feeling the quality of you. Notice where your awareness is drawn in the body, around the body. And bringing attention to your base, maybe the base of the pelvis. So whatever you're sitting on, maybe you're laying on something. If you're sitting, it would be the relationship of sitting bones, pubic bone, tailbone. If you're laying, maybe the back of the pelvis, right? That sense of the pelvis against the ground. Right? If you're sitting, that verticality, the pelvis, the spinal column, the spinal cord within the spinal column, the skull, the brain within the skull. The very physicality of your body, the beat of your heart, the movement of your breath. The movement of your thoughts, maybe even the movement of your feelings. And then connecting to your heart, so the sense of your body, your tissues, and maybe even thinking of your emotions in your tissues, your memories in your tissues, right? The unprocessed, the interrupted experiences in your tissues or trauma. The joy of touch, of connection, pleasure. And then maybe connecting to the heart, right? This bridge between tissues and more of our spirit, our essence. Noticing the different quality, just connecting to the heart. Maybe just a sense of space around the heart, making a lot of room for all that exists within your heart. And that ability to expand and contract, right? Touching into grief and sadness and joy and love. Compassion, connection to the spaces beyond. To relationships outside of us. Different relationship to our ancestors, our guardians, our guides, than our flesh, our tissues, our blood, our skin. Good. And then maybe touching into the crown of head or soul, third eye, spirit, soul, essence. Maybe all different qualities, but which one do you connect to? And even the relationship of your soul to your tissue, to your body. to your heart, to your relationships, to your family, community. Connection to all that is, all of life, consciousness, right? Fields of consciousness, ocean consciousness, mountain, desert, stones, rocks, forests, right? The consciousness that exists in all forms, the wind, the sun, the planets, the stars, the galaxies, source, consciousness. Maybe just a moment of using the breath, however that feels to you, keeping it somewhat diffuse. That sense of touching out into consciousness of all things, or the source of all things. And letting that wave, that breath, touch back into your tissues, your cells, your bones, your earth. And the breath touching out into the source, into consciousness, into all vastness, the nourishment, the emptiness. And slowly, slowly titrating back into form. Bone, muscle, blood, marrow, tears. Back out into dispersed out. Connection to all things. And then touching back into you. And letting that movement, like the swelling and settling of the ocean, from ocean to shore, from the vastness to a single point. Let that almost clean and clear and nourish, integrate. Whatever feels unsettled, unfinished, or complete. To come into a clear place in your system, like a settling, a shifting, a sifting, a sorting. Right, releasing what is no longer needed and allowing a clarity of what is. Receiving of what is needed and a fullness as what is needed is released. One hand on heart, one hand on belly. Just feeling this process that we move through all day through our breath, through our cells sloughing off and regenerating. through this evolution or just life cycle, birth and death, every day. Allowing that cycle, grieving when needed. Throwing the windows open when needed. Open-hearted when needed. Very slowly. Let's actually finish with the sound of Om. It can also be a hum, even though we go from an open mouth to a closed mouth, right? Letting the face, the mouth, the jaw, the throat, the chest, the belly stay supple. Inhaling. Om. And reopening your eyes. Just rub your hands, maybe even massage your arms and chest, shoulders, just gentle squeeze or rub. Head, back of the neck, gentle on the throat, on the face, on the belly and the back, and the hips and the legs. And just pressing into the feet. Looking around your space. Again, just feeling present here, awake in the room, in this space, in this body, in this moment in time. And enjoying where you are with who you're with in this season.